What is up, YouTube? How is everybody out there doing today? I hope you guys are having a fabulous freaking day. If you remember one of the last videos that I posted about the good old Trans Am, the Formula Firebird, Formula Ghost, Zach took it to school and he broke it. He broke it. And we are going to fix it. What's up, guys? Holy smokes, it's been a hot minute. A lot of stuff going on. Haven't really had time to make videos, to be honest with you. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I hope you didn't give up on me, guys. I really do. Really do. First and foremost, huge, gigantic shout out to Huron Speed. Huron Speed has been a huge supporter of the channel with the Bird. Obviously, as you guys know, with their V3 turbo system, single turbo system for the F-bodies. And he recently seen my video where Zach broke my car. Actually, he didn't really break my car. It was just a heat problem, no big deal. And he sent me out some new products for your F-body if you're running a V3 turbo setup. And one of these are an alternator shield right here. And new power steering lines with new fittings as well to relocate these lines, the stock OEM lines, away from the heat of the upper manifold. We're going to show you that right now. That way you guys know what I'm talking about, and you're just not like, ugh, what's he talking about? I have no idea. So let's pop our hood on the good old Bird here. Get our flashlight. So if you look down here, remove this line out of the way. If you look down here, that line, I had it wrapped for the longest time, and it worked for the longest time. It really did work for a long time. So I definitely commend the heat wrap that I put on it, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately, and it did burn through, which is, you know, was going to happen regardless, but it did burn through. And we're going to be replacing this line with the new braided steel line, kind of like this stuff here. And then the other line on this side as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to replace this line, to be honest, because to be honest with you, this is really the only issue is this line right here, which is the problem. The other line, I'll be honest with you, the other line really isn't that close to the heat. I've never had any issues with it. It stays pretty far away, but as you can see, it does wrap around down there, so maybe I'll change it to as well. But yeah. So first things first, we got this, you know, jack this thing up off the ground here. I'm just going to do it right here. It's pretty simple. Jack this thing up. We're going to tear the lines off of the power steering pump and start figuring out how to assemble this setup, these lines. Now, the nice thing about these lines is they are kind of, you know, route them your own way. There's no real instructions on how to route these lines around your setup. So, you know, if you're running an alternator, you have to route them a different way than if you weren't running an alternator. So it's basically up to your discretion on how you feel best to route these lines and keep them away from the heat of that that driver's side exhaust manifold. So this is just my way of doing it, to be honest. So okay. This is just my way of doing it personally, so you can follow these instructions on how I do it, and I'll show you where I route everything and how I route everything, or you can do it your own way if you have a V3 turbo system for your 98 to 02 F-body, guys. So let's get started tearing this thing apart. Found some more issues. Now, don't get me wrong, this heat tape definitely lasted. I mean, it lasted a lot of dyno pulls, a lot of track runs. I mean, it definitely did its job. But I just noticed I am burnt through my regulator wire here on my alternator. That's burned through. I've got some other wires that are kind of not so happy that I'm going to have to address down here as well while I'm working on this thing, which isn't a big deal. I'm here, so I might as well do it and make it right, or make it that, you know, a lot more protective and stuff. Plus, I took the heat wrap off of my brake lines down here, and they were getting kind of hot too. Eventually, I will be removing this ABS unit, and I will be doing a proportioning valve on the brake system. I just haven't got to it yet, to be honest, so that's why I haven't done it. But you know, it's surprising that it's lasted this long, to be honest. It really is. So we're going to pull this wire out. We're going to repair this wire first, get this all, you know, nice and good again, and then we'll move on to tearing everything else apart. And we're going to be relocating these metal lines here. We're going to try to tie these up against something so they're away from that exhaust. and also probably put some more heat tape around it as well. As you can see, I already repaired this line one time when I did the alternator, and if you look right there, it burnt through there. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recut it here, cut it up here to a new clean piece. Luckily I have more than enough of this wire, so it'll reach down in that alternator pretty good. So I'll cut it up here and just use one of these guys right here to put it back together again. It don't need to be soldered. This works just fine, keeps all the water out. These are good, so don't complain in the comments. Don't use those on your wiring, Andy. It's fine. And presto, that is 100% secure and fixed. So now we just got to plug it back in and move on to the rest. Alrighty, as you can see, we have our two lines right here going into our steering rack. There's my nice little puddle of oil. So basically what we're going to have to do is we're going to disconnect the one at a time. That way we don't get things mixed up and stuff like that. It would be cool to wrap it down on the other side, but I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. I might just have to maybe run it. I don't know where I'm going to run it, to be honest, but I'm going to have to figure out something to keep it away from this exhaust manifold. That way it does not continue to get hot. I don't really have any problems with the alternator, so I might not use that alternator shield at this time. I might put it on a later date. Right now my main worry is these power steering lines, but since we're going to a braided steel line and not a rubber line, I'm sure I could wrap the braided steel up a little bit better and I should be okay. But let's disconnect that top one first and introduce our new line in our system, or maybe we'll do the bottom one and the top one too and just get them out of there all together. So here's my low pressure hose right here, guys, and as you can see, we'll get in the light here. As you can see, that burned through pretty good. It lasted a good while, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely held up for a couple years, but time for the upgrade. All right, guys, so we have our new fitting up in the upper here. So that's in and ready to rock and roll. We're gonna go underneath and I'll show you the two fittings in the rack and pinion. All right, as you guys can see, the two new AN fittings are in the rack and pinion as well. And basically the last thing we got to do is basically just route these lines as close and away from everything as possible and hook them up and fill up the system back up with power steering fluid, check for any leaks, drips, or errors, and we should be open stripping again. It's dripping again. We should be pretty darn good to go here, guys. So let's get the lines hooked up, show you what that looks like, and finish this little job up here on the bird. All right, guys, everything is on and done and tightened up. I'm gonna have to obviously tie these up. I'm gonna tie these up against the not the radiator, the freaking alternator there, and then little holes. I'm gonna find some place to put a bolt in there. Like, I don't know, I'll find some place to tie them up and tie them up against here and just get them out of the way, basically, of everything. Sprayed everything down nice and clean. There's my beautiful puddle. It went together pretty easy. I can't complain. Very, very nice little setup to fix that problem with the rubber line. Let's go up top and I'll show you the top portion. There you guys can see the top portion right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. I did cut the rubber hose a little bit shorter. That way the less rubber, obviously the less rubber that's near that manifold, the better. The metal I'm not too concerned about. And then over here is our little elbow going down to the other port on that power steering rack. So everything's nice and tight. We're gonna fill up the system, spray. We gotta clean off this mess here. We're gonna take some brake clean. Get some brake clean here on this and spray it all down, make it look pretty again. Don't want any of that stuff on there. There we go, any of that power steering fluid on there, spray it down, make it look pretty. Now, as you can see in the video here, these manifolds and the downpipe and the crossover pipe I had coated when I first put the system on. So it's all ceramic coated, which I'm sure really helped in the timely demise of that rubber line. I'm sure if I would have left them uncoated, they probably would have burned through them rubber lines within a matter of weeks, to be honest. But with it being coated, I think that helped a lot. I'm sure if I would have wrapped the headers as well, it probably would have helped a lot. But that's one of the reasons why I didn't wrap the headers, because I got them coated instead. And I want people to see how nice of a job that Huron Speed does on these V3 turbo kits for these F bodies. So we're going to fill the system up, clean up some more stuff, tie the lines up out of the way, fix the brake lines as well, get them out of the way as well, put this thing back down on the ground, and hopefully she has no leaks, drips, or errors, guys, and we'll start her up and hear her run for a little bit. Alrighty, battery's hooked up. We got the keys in the ignition. Let's start her up and make sure she doesn't spill power steering fluid all over the place. I think my lens is dirty. Let's clean it off. Yeah, well, not really. Clean it off again. There we go. All right, let's make sure she's good to go here. Oh, yeah. There we go. Turn the steering wheel. Hopefully she's not leaking. Woo, baby. See a loud motherfucker. Needs a little bit more power steering fluid. Alrighty. All right, shut her off. She's still smoking, so it tells me there's still a little power steering fluid, like probably floating around on the header here that needs to be burning off. I'm not gonna stand here for 15 minutes and have it burn off for you guys, obviously. But everything works, everything's good to go. It also looks like we have no leaks, drips, or errors, whether it's underneath or on top, which is also very good. The lines look like they are wherever they need to be, away from the header, which is freaking awesome. We'll go underneath here. I did overfill it just a hair, but yeah, if you see under there, I just sprayed that down with brake clean, so it is still a little wet, but it's not leaking, which is a plus in my book, guys. Very, very happy. Car's back on the road now. Just gotta top off everything, make sure everything's good to go, and also burn off the extra junk, the extra power steering fluid that's on here, which ain't that big of a deal. I just gotta let her run for a little bit and just let it burn off. I can only spray so much brake clean on it, and then brake cleans burn it off, and I gotta wait for brake clean to burn off, which is the same dang thing for the most part. So I'm super happy. Huron Speed makes a real nice relocation kit for the 98 to 02 Trans Ams and Firebirds and Formulas and Camaros that get their V3 kit that need to have a relocation kit for the power steering line. So it works out very, very well. So I highly recommend it if you guys have it. Man, it's a beautiful day. Look how beautiful it is. Oh, what's that? What is that? Oh, we'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, what a beautiful day, guys. Pizza shop's not open. That kind of sucks. Kind of hungry. Also got a few other mods I need to do for this vehicle. Battery tray, and also in this box from Summit is a external kill switch. That way I don't have to keep popping my lid to my trunk lid to disconnect the battery at car shows and stuff like that. I can actually just pull it out from there and the battery is disconnected, which is freaking awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in one of these days when I have some freaking free time here, maybe. But yeah, other than that, guys, we're gonna end this video. Just a little install video of the power steering lines from Huron Speed. Worked out really well. Took like literally probably 20 minutes, honestly. 20 minutes to install them. maybe 25 with me videotaping. Not a bad install. So there you go, guys. Other than that, we're gonna end this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Instagram, Diablo Formula Racing, and deuces, guys.